If you're just starting out on print on demand, or if you've been on print on demand for a while and haven't gotten very many sales, the question you may be asking is, what should I be designing for? What kinds of topics should I be designing for to get those sales? In this video, I'm going to share with you 6 different ways that you can figure out what to design for. And I'm going to put it in a list, and I'm going to show you the pros and cons and which is better and what you might want to use. Let's go. Hey everyone, it's Juno with Detour Shirts. In this video, I'm going to talk about different ways that you can figure out what to design for. And not a lot of people just jump into print on demand, look that it's a way to make a lot of money, but don't understand what topics to design for. And there's different levels of finding out what to design for. And I'm going to go through all of them. I hope I'm going to go through at least 6 of them. There may be other ways to do it. And I'm going to go through some of the typical ways that some people find topics. And I'm going to show you, at a high level what you can do. Now, this is not a tutorial on research methods and going deep into finding the exact right topic to design for at this time. I'm just going to give you high level things, and there's other videos on my channel to look at some of these in more detail. So first way that I wanted to talk about is people who just are spontaneous and just want to create stuff. So the first one is pretty much create something that you love. I think this is really great. I think a lot of people get into print on demand or some art kind of creative outlet because of that. They just have a creative spirit, they want to draw, they want to create art or something, they would like to doodle. And so this is a great way to start off. And one of the pros of this one is you're just designing because you love it. You're designing and this is great and you feel good about what you're doing. The bad side of this one is you may be creating something that nobody wants to buy. You may be creating something you love, but maybe something that doesn't connect with the audience or people are looking for. So for example, you may be into drawing slugs or snails and you do it in a certain way and you do it really sketchy, and maybe that's great for you and you feel good about it, but maybe people don't want to actually buy that thing. On the other hand, you may be really good at drawing a horse and there's a big audience for horses, and you could stumble upon people that really relate to your design and design style, and so that could work. So there's a balance here. If you're trying to make money online, then this may not be the best way to find a topic, but if you're just doing it as a creative outlet and you don't care if you're making any money, this would be really good because you're putting it out there, somebody buys it, it's an extra bonus on top of the creative thing that you're doing, the love that you have for creating this. So this is the first one that I put on my list, and that is just creating something that you love. So the second one that I wanted to talk about is kind of related, and that is just guessing, just picking something randomly. And this is what most people do when they come into print on demand, especially if they haven't done any t-shirt design before, they haven't done any research before. They just like, oh, I'm in here, I'm just gonna pick whatever I want, and I'll do this t-shirt and I'll do this t-shirt and I'll do this design, and just pick randomly. The pro on this one is it's very easy to do, right? You can pick lots of things randomly and it's very easy to pick a topic. The con on this one, again, is like the one before, is the chances of you picking something randomly, if you've never done t-shirts before, never done print on demand before, is very low that you'll pick something that people actually want to buy and want to spend their money on. So this one is good at first if you want to just get into the mechanics of creating a design. But as far as selling and making money with print on demand, this is not a great strategy, just picking something randomly. You have to do the research, and the rest of these topics are going to be on data. So this one's basically just guessing, and the rest of these on the list are going to be using data to figure out what sells better. And I think that's a better way to get a topic, especially if you want to make some money online. So the third strategy that a lot of people use, and you've seen this on YouTube and so on, is to jump on a trend. And the pros for jumping on a trend is from the data that lots of people are buying this. There's lots of interest on this trend, and that's why it's a trend, because so many people are jumping on it, so many people are buying it, and so of course you can see that the trend is going up. Lots of people want it. But the con on this one is everybody know that it's a trend, and so there's going to be lots and lots of competition, lots of copycats actually, and also lots of competition on there. So and another thing is trends don't last very long. So this is just a short window of sales. So if you do so happen to get a sale on trends and can get it, that trends sale won't last very long. So you may get a bunch of sales in the beginning, and then the trend's gone, and then you have to design something else. So this is an okay, you are looking at data at least, but as far as trying to get lots of sales, I wouldn't suggest this one for a long-term thing. And especially if you're doing trends, I wouldn't say to copy other people too. You still need to stand out. You still need to do something different for the trend, but it will be very hard for you to get up there and rank, especially if you're late to the trend. So jumping on a trending topic is better than just guessing, but it's still not my favorite way to find out what to design. So the fourth strategy that I want to talk about is to find a topic that has high amounts of sales but low competition. And that's really hard to find, especially in some of the other print-on-demand shops like Redbubble and TeePublic and some of the other ones, because they don't actually share those kinds of things. But on Amazon and Etsy, I believe you can have programs like Pretty Merch and Productor and Merch Informer for Amazon, and I believe there's some other programs for, I know there's Everbee on Etsy. I don't use Etsy as much, but I know there's programs on Etsy and apps on Etsy that can help you figure these things out. So looking for topics that have lower competition, not like trends, but these are more evergreen things that people buy more of throughout the year, that still get some pretty high sales, but not a lot of people know about it. They have low competition. So this one's, you're gonna have to do a lot more research to find these, but I think these, and they're a lot harder to find because everybody's looking for this kind of sweet spot. But if you can find this and can design for it and still design something that people wanna buy, and like all of these, you still need to design something that people wanna buy. But I think this can really help you get some sales throughout the year and have sales that last a lot longer instead of those trends. So strategy number 5 that I want to share in this video is finding a hole in the market. Now this is going to take a lot more research. This is going to have to, you're going to have to go in and find a kind of a niche, but then look through the niche and find out what people aren't doing, but maybe people want to still buy. So this takes a lot more thinking, a lot more, not guessing, but you're using the data to find out, like, well, this is selling and this is selling, but there could be something here that could be selling, but it's not there. I'm going to design for that. So finding the hole in the market can be really cool because you're doing something there is no competition. Instead of low competition, there's no competition. So if done this right, this can be really cool and get you some lots and lots of sales. The con on this one is you may guess wrong. There may be a hole in the market for a reason. Maybe nobody's doing it because nobody wants to buy that. So you have to do your research and kind of take a chance, but you're taking a chance with data. So this is a good one if you can get it right and do something that, of course, as soon as you do it, there's going to be lots more copycats jumping on you because they'll see that you're getting lots of sales. But if you do it right, I think you can get a lot of sales at first. So strategy number 6 that I want to share on here is one of my favorite ways to do this, and that is to create a brand or series of your top sellers. So what I mean by that is if you have a top seller for this one, for example, I noticed that my Corgi was selling a lot, so I made a series of it. I made him eating ramen, I made him eating pizza, I made him eating whatever, boba, drinking boba, and then I did a Corgi and a cat and a sloth and a panda and things like that. So I made a series of my top sellers so that I could get more sales on that. And if you look at top sellers on Redbubble, on TeePublic and so on, you'll notice that they are kind of branded. They have kind of the same style. Once they figure out what sells well for them, they're making more and more and more of these. Now, this can really work well with number 5, when you find a hole in the market and you're the first one there and you start getting sales, then just go do a lot more of those, right? Just so that you can flood page 1 with your designs on there and you'll still be on the top there with getting more sales. This can work really well with any of your top sellers. So if you find one of any of the other categories that are your top sellers, now start making more and more things that are related to your top sellers. So there's a big pro on this side that you can get lots of sales. The con on this side is this is probably not great for people who are first starting out because when you're first starting out, you don't have a top seller. So this is going to take some time to grow this category, to figure out what is selling and what does well for you, which may be different from other people because it depends on your style and what you're doing. But once you figure out that, once you figure out what's working well for you and your style, you can keep doing more and more of it. So there you go. Those are my 6 ways that I think people find different ways to design for print on demand. I made this list right here as a resource. I'm gonna put it on my digital downloads page on my website. Hopefully this really helps you kind of figure out on what kinds of things are different ways to find what to design for, what kinds of topics to design for. Of course, you still need to design things that people want to buy, but I think having this can really help you find out like different ways, right? Either it's a trend, maybe you find a hole in the market, or on any one of those. So I'll put that as a resource. If you want to watch a video on how to find a topic on Redbubble, I put this video right here, kind of doing some light research on Redbubble, so that can help you if you're doing Redbubble. I have also lots of other videos on my channel to kind of dive down deep on research. So thanks again for watching. Hopefully this was really helpful. And as always, guys, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.